Guys, for the first time in history, the government wants to buy back your bond before maturity date. Let me explain. Apparently, we have these 3 bonds that were issued in different years. The first one was issued in 2022 and it was to run for 3 years. Another one was issued in 2020 and it was to run for 5 years. So it's supposed to mature in 2025 this year. Even for the first one, when you add 3 years to this, it's supposed to mature in 2025. We also have an IFB bond, an infrastructure bond, that was first issued in 2016, which is supposed to mature this year in 2025. All these 3 bonds are supposed to mature in 2025. But what the government has decided is that, one, they have money. The government has the money now, this Feb, and they're willing to pay you back the principal amount. Assuming it's 1 million that you invested when you were doing one of these, when you're investing in one of these bonds, they are willing to pay you back this 1 million now instead of you waiting until that specific month when this bond is supposed to mature. If you own either of these bonds, you have the opportunity to receive back your money earlier on. I'm going to be using the first bond to show you how much you should expect to get, because if you're going to receive money before the coupon date, that is the date at which you're supposed to receive your interest, there's the concept of accrued interest. There's an interest that you're not supposed to receive, and there's an interest that you're supposed to receive because you're going to get back your interest before the coupon date. The government has to pay you back. I'm going to be doing that calculation here. Let's go. In this scenario, you invested 1 million back in 2022, and this bond was supposed to go for 3 years. When you go back and check, the last coupon date for this bond is on 7th April 2025. So on this specific date, which is in April this year, you're supposed to receive the last interest rate, the last coupon. That is for the last 6 months. But remember, you're going to receive your money in case you go ahead and accept this buyback from the government. You're going to receive your money in Feb this year. For 48 days, the 48 days remaining, you don't deserve that interest because you've sold your bond. I have subtracted these 49 days that you don't deserve to the 182 days, which is usually the cycle at which you receive your interest. Every 182 days, you get your interest. That is twice a year. You are eligible 134 days. Now, with accrued interest, when you check that paper, when you check the prospectus, there is an accrued interest of 4 shilling and 36 cents, 4.363 for every 100 shillings. So you invested 1 million. How would that look like? 43,638 is the accrued interest, is the interest that you deserve to get as an investor. This is for 134 days. I think it's 134, 135 or 133. But anyway, 43,638 is the interest that you deserve from the last coupon payment date to 19th February. So you must get this on top of this 1 million that you're going to get. That's the first thing, the accrued interest. Now, the government is buying back the bond, so somebody has to place a bid. You can sell this bond back to the government either at par or at premium. Let me explain. Let's assume that the interest rate turns out to be 13%, rather the yield to maturity. This is the market, what the market is ready to offer. The market is ready to offer 13%. As a result, the bond is going to be sold at a premium. You're going to receive 998, which is less than the 1 million. The second scenario is where the interest rate, let's assume it's 10%. It's 10%. The 10% is less than what the government is giving us. So it's going to be sold at a premium. You're going to receive 1,001,935. We have the behind the scenes calculations. You can use the calculator that I'm going to link in the description, but that's how it actually works. The good thing is that all these interest rates are outlined in that prospectus as I'm showing you right now. You can see the 13% and the 10% and how it's going to look like. So let's assume that it's going to be sold at a premium. The government is going to buy back the bond from you at a premium. You're going to benefit because you're going to get 1,001,935, which is more than the 1 million, which is the value of your investment initially when you invested in 2022. If it's sold at a discount, you're going to receive less money. Instead of the 1 million, you're going to receive the 998,112. Plus, we have to add back the accrued interest that you deserve. This one is fixed. It's actually fixed. You have to get this back. Or it can be sold at par. At par is where the interest rate that the market is going to give us is also going to be the same what the government has already given us. Those are the three scenarios. But for sure, you're going to get back your accrued interest. Several things that you must know about this buyback. Number one, you're not forced to go ahead with this bond, with this buyback. You're not forced. It's voluntary. You can decide to stay with your money and just wait a little bit longer. Wait for the next 2 months, the next 3 months to get back your money, or you can decide to go ahead with this. The other thing is that if you go ahead with this, you're going to get back your money on 19th February. It's going to hit your CSD portal. Imagine getting your money earlier on. The other one is that if you took a loan against this bond, you're not allowed to go ahead with this buyback that the government is giving. Any loan that is attached to these bonds, either of these bonds, is not eligible for this buyback. The other one is that if you pledged anything against this bond, you have 5 days to cancel that contract before, or rather 5 days before the value date. You have 5 days before the value date for you to cancel that contract and go ahead and accept this buyback. Why would the government want to initiate a buyback? It's because they have money. They have money to pay. They have money now to pay you now instead of them waiting to pay you back in like 3 months' time, 4 months' time. The other one that is in line with that is that the government is currently working on restructuring their payment process. Remember, all this money is money that you gave them, so they owe you money. There was a video I did that is related to why the government wants to scrap the 365-day Treasury bill. And one of the reasons was most of these debt repayments are going to occur in June this year. I think it was June or May, in June this year. They have to offload all those loans, not just the interest, but also the face value amount. They have to return the money back to you. And majority of this money is going to fall on that specific month. For them, it's a great thing to distribute their payments. They don't just pay out everything once because they also have to come up with a way that is sustainable for them. So distributing these payments will also make it easier for them to sort of like plan how they're going to pay you back your money. I'm just curious, if you had invested in either of these 3 bonds, are you going to accept this buyback or are you just going to wait until maturity? I'd love to know your thoughts on the comments. Like this video and see you in the next one.